Welcome to the Workplace Minute, powered by H3HR Advisors and sponsored by WorkHuman. Thanks for joining me for a quick update on what's important in the world of work. My name is Steve Boese. Today in the Workplace Minute, we're beginning a three-part series on the state of employee benefits. And we'll start with a simple question. What do American employees really want from their benefits today? For decades, the answer seemed obvious. Employees wanted good health insurance, a retirement plan, paid time off. Those benefits remain incredibly important today. In fact, healthcare continues to rank as the most valued employee benefit that employees receive from their employer. But what's changing is how employees define a good overall benefits package. Increasingly, they aren't simply asking whether benefits exist for them. They're asking whether those benefits actually solve the real challenges they face in their everyday lives. And there's another reason this conversation matters. Employee engagement has declined from its post-pandemic peak and remains stuck near its lowest level in several years. Gallup's latest research shows that only about 3 in 10 U.S. employees are engaged at work, while nearly 1 in 5 are actively disengaged. Engagement isn't simply about motivation anymore. It's increasingly a reflection of whether employees feel supported, valued, and equipped to succeed both at work and in their lives. And benefits play a critical role in creating that environment of support and care. And additionally, affordability has become just as important to employees as access. New research from MetLife found that more than 8 in 10 employees say rising living expenses and medical costs are their biggest sources of financial stress. Even more concerning, half say they have delayed seeking medical care because of out-of-pocket costs. So having health insurance doesn't necessarily mean employees feel financially secure enough to use the insurance. And at the same time, employee well-being continues to face pressure. Burnout remains elevated across many parts of the workforce, particularly among managers and women, while financial stress and caregiving responsibilities continue to increase. And for many employees, work doesn't end when they log off for the day. They're also caring for children, aging parents, managing rising expenses, or navigating increasingly complex personal lives. That means employees increasingly evaluate benefits based on one simple question. Do these actually make my life easier? Employees are also looking beyond traditional medical coverage. Mental health support has evolved from a nice-to-have benefit into an expectation for many workers. Financial wellness resources, caregiving support, fertility benefits, family leave, even student loan assistance have all grown in importance because they address challenges employees face outside of the office that directly affect their ability to succeed inside of it. Employers are responding by expanding behavioral health resources and looking more closely at benefits that improve overall well-being for employees and not just healthcare coverage. Different generations are also shaping benefits at work in different ways. Younger employees often place greater emphasis on flexibility, career development, and financial well-being. Mid-career employees may prioritize childcare, family leave, and healthcare affordability. Meanwhile, an aging workforce is increasingly demanding things like retirement planning, chronic disease management, and elder care support. Nearly 3 in 10 of American adults now serve as an unpaid caregiver for a family member, creating new pressure that many traditional benefits programs were never designed to address. So perhaps that's the biggest shift of all. Benefits are no longer simply viewed as compensation. They're becoming tools that help people manage their increasingly complex lives. Good benefits help employees stay healthy, care for children and aging parents, reduce financial stress, continue to learn, and ultimately perform at their best at work. And employees are redefining what they think counts as a benefit. Traditional offerings like medical coverage, retirement savings, and paid vacation are still foundational, but many employees now place equal or even greater value on flexibility, remote and hybrid work where appropriate, expanded parental and caregiver leave, mental health resources, financial wellness, career development. These might not always appear in the typical benefits guide, yet they often have just as much influence on whether someone joins a company, stays with an employer, or feels they can do their best at work. And research has shown that flexibility and greater autonomy contribute to stronger engagement, retention, and work-life balance when implemented effectively. For HR leaders, that's an important change in their mindset. For years, employers asked, what benefits should we offer? Now the better question is, what obstacles are preventing our people from doing their best work? Sometimes the answer is affordable healthcare, sometimes it's childcare, sometimes it's flexibility or paid leave, financial well-being, or simply giving employees more control over how they work. Organizations that stand out over the coming years won't necessarily be the ones with the longest list of benefits, but they'll be the ones whose benefit offerings remove friction from employees' lives and make it easier for people not only to work, but to thrive. And that will lead us directly into our next episode, because while employees are asking for benefits that make a real difference in their lives, employers are facing a very different challenge: how to provide those benefits while healthcare and other benefits costs continue to rise. So we'll examine that balancing act next time on the Workplace Minute. That's it for the show today. A big thank you to WorkHuman for supporting the Workplace Minute, and be sure to subscribe to the HR Happy Hour Network on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts. I'm Steve Boese, and this has been the Workplace Minute from H3 HR Advisors.